The First Million Words, Episode 28, NaNoWriMo Extravaganza Bonus Episode Part 2, with Rachel Aaron.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Excellent.
Well, that is officially all of the kinks out of the system.
So what did y'all want to talk about?
Stuff. Oh,
Chainsaws, apparently.
yeah, sorry, that's somebody outside. There might be a little bit of background noise. Guillermo is, I'm out in my garage, so I get regular street sounds anyway. And Guillermo is going through a tropical storm.
Yeah, you know, I appreciate you risking Sandy to talk to me.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm gonna be inside. What's that?
Well, that's good. I say Sandy seems to be slightly irate. So
A little bit, yeah.
It shouldn't get bad apparently until 8 p.m. tonight here. So that gives us time to record my final message before it blows me off of the face of the earth and I end up in Oz or something.
I don't know. That sounds like it could be kind of fun. It's actually beautiful here. I live in Georgia, and the weather is just absolutely perfect.
Yeah. Oh, I live in about Central Florida. Guillermo's in DC now, but yeah, I'm in Central Florida, and it's just all of a sudden beautiful.
No, the weather has just turned amazing. So
Yeah, you guys are. That's because you guys are sucking up all the awesomeness, and I'm here with the hurricane. But that's cool. That's cool. I look forward to joining the Flying Monkeys.
Well, I would definitely say you have a far greater chance for excitement than we do.
Yeah.
Right.
We got moderate wind. That's exciting.
That's good. I mean, it's kind of windy outside. Like, there's a dog tied up in a backyard, and he's kind of flapping in the breeze like a flag. It's an exciting time. End of days.
Nice.
Ready to go.
Oh, like, you know what's really funny? The biggest thing I've noticed from Sandy is that all my emails, because I sent all these emails, because I have a book coming out on November 22nd, and I've got galleys due for my new book. So I'm doing all this work for New York, but I'm sending all these emails to New York, and I'm not getting any emails back because no one's working.
Yeah. They kind of, us in Florida, we kind of, it's like for hurricane preparation, we go out and buy like extra vodka for hurricane parties, but everywhere else in the country, it's like, oh, hurricane. So I picked up the 2K to 10K. It's I read through it in like one night.
Yeah, it's not terribly long, but I wanted to keep it. I didn't want it to ramble. I wanted to keep it pretty on point, and it was sort of an experiment for me. Doing, because basically I started writing these blog posts just because I was excited about what I was doing and I wanted to tell other people. And people really liked them, and this kind of surprised me because I'm always a little embarrassed to talk about writing because I still consider myself to be new at it, which is weird because I've actually been doing it for 10 years, and what else do you do for 10 years and you think you're new at it? But that's kind of the thing with writing. Yeah. You're always discovering something you didn't know, and you feel like you really should have known.
Yeah, and that's why there's all these like people who seem like overnight success stories, but it's like they've been trudging away for a decade and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, but
exactly.
Those are the good ones.
Yeah. Sometimes they really are overnight success stories. You're just like, how did this happen? But,
yeah. Yeah, we can't all be Twilight, though.
Even the blind pig finds an apple every now and then.
Yeah.
But
Sparkly pig.
my husband hates that saying. He says it's so condescending. I love it. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, something similar. My grandfather once told me the dumbest farmers grow the biggest potatoes. I don't know if that relates, but I just thought it was a good saying.
It was a good saying. But no, like, I was actually very surprised that people liked 2 to 10K as much as it. Actually, what was really funny was I didn't even think about writing it as a blog post when I first discovered how to do it. I kind of first mapped out my triangle and got it all written down. I actually went to Con Carolina. This was back in 2011. I went to Con Carolinas, and I just sort of mentioned on the panel, like really randomly, that I jacked my word count up to 10K a day. And I just got this flood of interest, and I'm like, maybe I should write this down.
Yeah.
And then I did.
They're like, what is the name of the demon that you sold your soul to for that? Is that?
No, it was really just, as I said in the post, it was really just sort of figuring out a bunch of things that all came together at once. You know how sometimes when you're cooking and it looks like a giant mess, and then all of a sudden it all comes together?
Mm-hmm.
That was what happened with my writing. I was like, it was just all these little pieces that individually were just kind of, were all individually there, and then all of a sudden came together this like perfect alchemy of absolutely amazingly fast writing. And I've actually kind of been experiencing sort of the bad side of writing that fast recently.
Oh, really? What was that?
Well, my problem is that I actually write so fast that I will get 40 to 50K into a project before I realize the project is wrong. It's not going to work.
Oh.
It used to be my false starts were like, you know, a chapter, 2 chapters, when I was like, oh, I hate all these characters. I never want to look at this novel again. You know, because things will sound great on paper, and you'll plan them out, and everything will be awesome. And then you'll be writing, and you just realize you missed something, or the book is flat, or this is just not the book for you right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure everyone who's attempted a project and failed it will know what I'm talking about, where you just don't even look at it anymore. And for me, these false starts used to be, you know, pretty short. Now, oh God, I wrote an entire novel once before I realized I was going so badly. And it really was just that because I know how to trick myself into writing so fast now, I've gotten actually very bad at figuring out when I'm tricking myself and when I'm really going.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've actually wasted a good deal of time because of that. And I have all these sort of 50 to 60K half novels sitting around.
Yeah, that's practically a novella.
Yeah, and they're not finished, and they probably never will be finished. And it's not that I don't know how to finish them. It's just that I don't care. I just don't care. And if I don't care, no one else is going to care.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, if you don't like your own stuff, yeah. I like in the book you actually kind of touch on that with the can versus should.
Yeah, that was actually, it was funny because when I was writing the book, I was thinking about this problem that I was having, which is where can versus should kind of came from.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that I'm still struggling with. Just because you can write a novel doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
Because, seriously, life is too short to waste on any book that you're not really dedicated to. It's kind of like a marriage. You don't marry someone just because you can tolerate them.
Yeah. I mean, it helps if you can tolerate them.
It helps if you can tolerate them.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, but I like that that's part of, the various steps in 2K to 10K is like, there's that step 0. And in there's that can versus should, which is, make sure there's just no lack of interest while you're plotting it out. And I can only imagine that kind of wouldn't work so well on somebody who's like a discovery writer.
mm-hmm.
Because they would jump into it and then realize, oh, I didn't see this coming,
Yeah, that's kind of why I put a little disclaimer at the start of the book that I am a plotter through and through.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of my methods, I know for hardcore discovery writers who really enjoy discovering the story,
mm-hmm.
that a lot of my methods feel very constrictive. But the way I look at it is, if you're a discovery writer, speed probably isn't really, if what discovering the story is what's most important to you, then I wouldn't worry about speed.
Yeah, because that's, I think there's even a line in the book, too, where you said how you hate how people automatically think of author, and it's like, oh, some guy sitting in a room with whiskey waiting for the muse to strike, and it's like, that's what I think of when I think of, sorry. When I think of discovery writing or pantsing, is like, somebody like sitting around like, oh, how artful is this,
Yeah, and that's kind of unfair because I do know a lot of discovery writers who are pros.
Mm-hmm.
And who put out good quality work on a regular professional basis, but there is sort of this I don't know, because I've tried to do some discovery writing, because the people I hear talk about it make it sound amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You're on this journey. And so I've tried to do some, and I just felt so out of control. But again, writing is such a personal thing. It's such a personal construct. Every writer writes differently.
Exactly.
And that's another reason that I always feel kind of dumb giving writing advice, because it's like you're trying to tell someone how to do this intensely personal thing.
Yeah.
And so many of the ways that I think about writing may make no sense to someone else. They make perfect sense to me. So all you can really do is kind of try and say it in the clearest language possible and just hope that it helps someone.
Yeah, and just give this works for me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I like, so what, with the 2K to 10K, what was the inspiration to take it from just, a kind of a series of vlogs into a how-to book?
Well, it actually happened because I was doing some conventions, and I was talking to people online. I was getting a lot of emails, because since I'd written all these writing blog posts, people send me emails asking me all sorts of questions.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes I would answer the question on the blog if I thought it was interesting. Sometimes I'd just email it back the answer. But I had a lot of people asking me the questions that I'd already answered. And then I realized that I was having trouble finding the answer to the question. Because the way my blog is organized, blogs are just not very good for sort of referencing posts. They're not like books.
Yeah.
You know, they're out of order. They're in the order rather that you post them, rather than an order you put them in for best understanding and that kind of thing. And I was like, I could make this page where I link to all these blogs in a line, but I was like, you know what I'm doing? I'm already writing a book here.
Yeah.
And I'd also really I wanted to dip my toe in the self-publishing thing, to kind of give it a try, because I knew so many people who were having really good success with it. And I'm under contract, so I can't try and do any of my fiction yet until I complete all my contracts. But I was like, let me try and put this ebook together. I've already gotten half of it written. I'll just clean it up, write the other half, put it up for 99 cents so no one can claim I'm selling out.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was going to do it for free. And then I was like, no, because I spent like 2 weeks working on it, and I'm like, I can't just give up 2 weeks and not make any money. And so this was kind of a compromise, because I'm a really big believer in paying it forward, especially within the creative writing community.
Yeah.
Because I could not have gotten where I am right now without authors like Holly Lyle and other big-name authors who put up all this information about publishing on their website. And that was how I learned how to go through the publishing process, and how I learned a lot about my own craft. And if I hadn't had those resources, I would not have gotten to where I am. I would not have known as much. I would not have been as informed. I probably would have made a lot more stupid mistakes. And so I see it as my duty, now that I am published, to reach back and help others behind me, reach out and hold the door open. So that's actually a big reason of why I write my blog. 'Cause, to be honest, I don't actually like blogging all that much. I would much rather be working on my own writing. The fiction is what I love to do. And I always find nonfiction to be kind of difficult. So I have to be very... I
do too. Yeah, I know that feeling. I don't really like nonfiction unless it is, some kind of writing advice.
Exactly.
Then I like it.
Like, I don't read a lot of nonfiction, and so nonfiction writing is very difficult for me. Or rather, it's not as beautiful and flowing and fun as fiction is. And so, but I saw my blog as sort of an opportunity to sort of reach back and help other people who are coming up, because that's the way the writing community is. Everyone above you got there because someone else is helping pull them up. And so it's sort of this long chain. I find it very inspiring. Yeah,
well, definitely. I mean, that's what we do too here. It's like,
exactly.
And you guys are so gracious to come on and, basically be like a performing monkey. It's like, oh, give me writing advice. Dance, monkey, dance,
Well, I got to say, I have yet to see an author. I get to meet an author who didn't want to talk shop.
Exactly.
Every author loves talking shop.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's because we all work alone. And so when we finally get together with someone and talk about what we do, we're like super excited.
Yeah. Nice. Well, about the about the 99-cent price tag. I mean, it's definitely worth it for this book because, I mean, you could just go back and read like your blog posts about it, but you know, there's just having it all kind of in your hand, and you can bookmark it and access it and just go through it is really nice to have. And there's you know, I mean, there's at least a bit of bonus stuff in there too. Like, I think some of the advice for new author stuff is a bit new, right?
There are 2 entirely new chapters, and all the entries have been updated with new stuff, and I also edited it and fixed a bunch of the typos and all that kind of stuff. So it's a cleaner, more professional product, as you know, it should be being an ebook. And I definitely think, I mean, I would pay 99 cents for it. That's kind of what I thought of it.
Oh yeah.
But again, it's only about 35,000 words long, I think. So, you know, 99 cents seemed like a perfectly good price point.
Oh, I think so.
I do have to admit, though, Amazon makes it kind of stupidly easy to self-publish. Like, I set aside this whole day to kind of get it up there. It took me maybe 30 minutes.
Nice.
To get the whole, because I use Scrivener.
Oh, yeah.
Scrivener just formatted my ebook, like, instantly. I actually have a little love letter to Scrivener in there, because they're not words for how much I love that program.
Yeah, seriously. I saw that, yeah. Yeah, I'm tempted to start trying out Scrivener. I think I might.
I think do a trial, and you should totally try the trial. Again, it's one of those, writing is very personal. I can't say it'll like hit you like lightning, like it hit me. But oh god, I can't write anything else anymore. My editor sends me my edits as Word files, so we can do track changes. Oh, it's like going back to the Stone Age. I hate it.
Well, yeah, I'll look into that.
How did it work like this?
Yeah, maybe I'll try it out for NaNoWriMo.
Yeah, and I think they do have a promotion. And again, I would just like to say that I'm not being paid or compensated by Scrivener in any way. This is very real and honest love earned by being a fantastic program. Because the whole thing is run by, I think, like 2 people. It's not a big company. Yeah,
there's like a Windows guy and a Mac guy, I think.
Yeah, and that's like the whole shebang over there at Literature and Latte. But no, I adore them. And but yeah, so Scrivener formatted my Kindle ebook like perfectly. I think I messed with the formatting for like a few hours because I was being really picky. And I wanted all my margins to look just right. Yeah. and then I just popped out the little Mobi file and I put it on Amazon. And it was like perfectly easy and actually almost a little too easy. I was like, man, this is so easy. What else can you put out on here? And I totally see how Amazon is dominating the market because that was just stupidly easy. Oh,
nice. Well, there's a little bonus info right there. Get Scrivener and you can self-publish on Amazon very easily. So you had like a whole day, like set aside, and you used 20 minutes.
And I only ended up spending like maybe an hour. And I spent way more time making the cover because I was a graphic designer before I became a writer. So that was actually really easy for me. And
nice.
I don't like the way the cover came out.
Yeah, it looks nice. It's very professional, and it looks self-help. Self-help. Yeah.
I'm not really pushing any artistic boundaries, but I thought it looked like what it was.
Yeah.
I've been sort of very interested in looking at the self-publishing stuff. Not quite sure it's for me because I really love my editors, but I have to admit, self-publishing has come so far since I basically really got into looking at publishing. Like I remember because I got my book contract in 2008. And in 2008, which is only like 4 years ago, self-publishing was just, no one did it. It was just verboten. And now lots of very, very successful people are doing it. And it's a really exciting time. And I got to say, I absolutely love being able to just like click on my book and see how many copies I've sold. Because when you're working to a publisher, it's almost impossible to know your numbers until your royalty statements come in, which comes every 6 months. And the numbers, if you can't tell from on my blog post, I really like numbers.
Yeah.
Numbers nerd in me is just overwhelmed with happiness. So that's been cool.
Nice. Well, that's good. And for NaNoWriMo here, Because what I figured we'd do is do some, well, I mean, obviously we're pre-recording this, but I figured we'd want to give some people that are trying Nano and listening to our show to give them a bit of a pep talk and a little motivation. So I wanted to ask you about the part of the 2K to 10K. I think it was the third part of the pyramid, enthusiasm.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's kind of mentioned last, but I think it really is important. I wonder, where do you feel that kind of comes from? The enthusiasm, is it just like, oh, this thing is burning in your head? Yeah, and that also goes back to the can versus should. It's like, it's I'm not sure what question I'm trying to ask here.
Well, if we're talking about the enthusiasm step, which you're right is the third and final step, but actually the only reason it's last is because it was kind of the one I discovered last.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't mean at all that it's the last and important. It was sort of the icing on the cake that made everything awesome. But there is actually a real interesting level of enthusiasm kind of required for a novel. Because when you first get an idea and it's like the coolest thing you've ever thought of.
Oh, yeah.
And you're just so excited. You just want to race ahead with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's where a lot of people start books, especially I've actually noticed nano books. Like people go, oh, November's coming up. I need an idea for a book. And then they get a great idea and they're like, this is it. And they just they spend like a few days planning it and then they crash into it for nano. And at first everything is great. You know exactly where you're going, but then things sort of kind of putter out because you may not have actually planned it as well as you should have.
Yeah.
And so for the part of enthusiasm I talk about in my writing triangle, which specifically talks about getting yourself psyched up every day for writing, that kind of enthusiasm is really looking at what you're going to do, what you already know you're going to do, because you wrote out your scene, and finding out what makes it cool for you. And that's very important because the stuff that you latch on to the scene, maybe it's a cool fight scene, maybe it's like this one really badass line you're going to throw out, that the stuff that makes you excited is the stuff that's going to make the reader excited. And if you stop and think, what do I actually like? You're going to start putting a focus on the parts of your scene that are the hookiest and the things that readers will enjoy the most and the things that will most attract an agent or editor. And so you're already sort of getting yourself psyched up for what is actually cool about your scene rather than the steps you took to get there.
Nice. So if somebody were to lose enthusiasm and they're kind of just, they feel like they're trudging along, I guess the best bet is to, find out what that other stuff was that made you so excited and just write more of that or more like that.
Exactly. But as I told you, that's the enthusiasm for the everyday part.
Yeah.
The enthusiasm I talk about in can versus should, those are finding the ideas with staying power. You know when you get like a favorite song and you listen to it on repeat over and over again for like 5 days?
Yeah.
And then suddenly you can't stand it anymore?
Yeah, I have a few songs like that, yeah.
Yeah. And I think everyone does that to an extent, maybe not as ridiculously as I do, but that's what I do with novels. So when I'm talking about can versus should, what you're looking for is the idea that's going to stay your favorite song or your favorite idea for a long period of time, because novels are marathons. You have to be able to keep it up the whole way.
Yeah.
And you need that idea that you can love for the long term. And that's sort of the difference between the daily enthusiasm, which is really just looking at what you're going to write and saying, why is this cool? Let's focus on that. And the sort of the enthusiasm that goes through the whole book, which is this an idea that is complex enough and interesting enough and meaningful enough that I am going to stay interested in it through the months it will take me to finish this book? Because even if you wrote even if you busted Nano through the roof and you wrote like 100,000 words in a month, which you can do, I've done. Even if you do that and you finish your book on that first initial burst of enthusiasm, you've still got to edit it. You're still going to have to go through multiple rounds of revisions. You've got months of work ahead of you. You have to have an idea that has a true solid base with solid characters who have good reasons for what they're doing, who have solid motivations, who are characters that have control over their own story. And you've got to make sure that you know what you're talking about, that you know what excites you about your book. You have to really know your book and understand your project that you made.
Mm-hmm.
And be sure that because when you're in this novel, you're God in your novel. And you have to make sure that you are guiding your novel on the path and that you can keep it up. And that's sort of the difference between the two enthusiasms.
Mm-hmm. Nice. So,
and they're both vitally important.
Yeah.
Especially for Nano. Because you're going so fast.
Yeah, I still haven't decided. I have 3 books that are kind of doing that to me right now, where all 3 of them are kind of bugging me. Because I just can't wait to start writing them, but I've started kind of plotting them out now. So I still haven't decided exactly which one I'm going to write, but yeah, I know that feeling about having, a song stuck in your head and you're like, oh yeah, this is a good one, and then, you can only listen to like Gangnam Style, so many times until it starts getting annoying and you got to go back to, like Pink Floyd, that you're that has that more staying power.
Got to go back to your roots.
Exactly.
Yeah, but then the problem is you start hearing Pink Floyd in Korean, which is
there's no help at all.
Yeah.
But I really do suggest to people, actually, this is something I started doing because I have this thing. I'm very impatient, and I have this thing where I just can't wait to start writing a book.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had to kind of teach myself over the years of these half-finished books. Because, I've written 11 books. I probably started closer to 50.
Wow.
It is insane, the kind of the dead books folder I've got on my computer.
Yeah, I bet.
And I didn't get like 50K in all of those. Some of them are just like in the early planning stages.
Mm-hmm.
But I've started a ton of books, and I have not finished as many. And I used to feel very guilty about that. But now I've sort of kind of come to terms with that. It's a natural part of the creative cycle. Because it's impossible to tell right off the beginning if this is going to be your one true love. You've got to kind of try it out. And this is something that is just kind of a part of writing. And almost every writer I've ever talked to about it has talked about books they either started and abandoned, or ideas they always wanted to do but never worked out. And I think people, especially new writers who are told you have to finish everything you start writing, get very downtrodden and try to push through an idea they don't really love because they feel like they should finish it. And they feel, I need to have dedication. But in the long run of things, a novel really actually is a lot like a marriage. And sometimes it just don't work out. And there's no reason to punish yourself over that. You just have to be always open and listening to what your story is trying to do, because this is a relationship between you and the story. And you can't make it do what it doesn't want to do. No amount of dedication or button chair time or glaring at that story is going to make it work if it's not there with you. So you either have to find out what's wrong and fix it, or move on.
That's right. Just like a relationship. Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like a relationship, and so many people I actually joke. I just finished a book I call my abusive boyfriend book because I quit this book 4 times, and I kept crawling back to it because I loved the central idea. I loved it, but I had the hardest time making this book work. But I finished it, and I sent it to my agent, and she didn't like it, and I kind of don't like it either, even though I still love the central idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I spent a stupid amount of time on this book, like an absolutely ridiculous number of hours were poured into this book that I will probably now never see any money from. And that's what happens when you try to. I thought, hey, I'm a professional, I know what I'm doing, and I tried to force something, didn't work, and just like a bad relationship, nothing good came out of it.
Yeah, you just like the idea of it.
Yeah. I like the idea of us more than I like us.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
There's no song about that.
Yeah. that has been said to me before.
I'm sorry.
It's like, I like the concept of you, Ben, but in practice, you're repulsive.
Yeah.
You're actually terrible. But I will say, though, that for Nano, if you have not already started planning, and I'm saying this is October and we're pre-recording, of course, but if you didn't start planning your NaNoWriMo novel in October, you would probably actually be helped by not jumping into page 1 on November 1st, but taking a couple of days to kind of figure out where you're going. Because I actually do a question and answer session in the fantasy section of the NaNoWriMo forum.
Oh.
I did one last year, and I'm probably going to do one again this year where I answer people's questions.
Nice.
It is so much fun. It is like the most fun you could ever have. I just love it. It's like being on a panel in slow motion. It's great.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I noticed, because I've been stalking the NaNoWriMo forums for years because I'm this giant forum stalker.
Yeah.
But I noticed that at the very first week, everyone's numbers are going up like crazy. And then in like about day 5, the attrition starts to set in.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly, like no one's updating. And this happens across the board in Nano. And of course, it doesn't happen to everyone. Lots of people finish. But I've noticed that there is a definite burnout. And for some people, it probably is stuff like, you set aside time to write and then life caught up with you and you couldn't keep writing. But I have to wonder how many people just sort of didn't know where to go.
Mm-hmm.
They wrote what they knew, and then they wrote what they planned, and they had this great beginning, and then that's done. And now suddenly they're in the middle of a novel, and they have no idea where they're going.
Yeah.
Right, like they burn out their plot twists and their witty, that one witty line that they thought of, and it's in there in the first chapter, and you're like, now what? Now I think I'm gonna go to bed for a little while.
Now I'm gonna go play Skyrim.
Yeah.
Wah wah.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. If you want to finish your NaNoWriMo book, this is like some pro advice here. Cancel your Warcraft subscription, quit your video game, and it will go so much easier.
There you
don't
go.
Just think, I'm not going to play. No, uninstall.
Yeah.
Right.
Banish it from your life. Say, this 1 month out of the year, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, just reinstall it later. You can put all your add-ons back on if you need to.
Yep, you can reinstall, you can do whatever.
Your guild will still be there.
Yeah, just lock yourself in a room with no internet.
Yeah.
Just sit there with, just 2 cartons of cigarettes and, a coffee maker. And don't come out.
I go to a coffee shop, as I mentioned in my book. I go to a coffee shop where there's no internet, and that's primarily why I'm there. I don't even like their coffee that much.
Yeah, you mentioned that in.
There's no internet.
Yeah, you mentioned that in our. I remember that from our earlier episodes with you. It was
It's not even a willpower thing. It's just, you only have so much willpower to go around. Why waste that on not checking Twitter? Just remove it. Remove that distraction from your life, and for the time that you are writing. And I think you will find your productivity is much, much better.
Nice.
But how will I go about my day without knowing what Will Ferrell had for lunch? I can't.
There's this great and powerful secret, which is that the world keeps turning even when you're not looking at it.
Right.
And it's where your life will go on.
Right, absolutely.
Nice. Well, Rachel, thanks a lot. I think that we were planning on doing kind of shorter episodes for Nano. I think we're at a good spot here, but
yeah, because if it's too long, then people won't be writing. They'll be listening.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
I would like to put in one final thing before we go about Nano.
Okay.
Which is to all of the people who are trying Nano, especially if you're doing Nano for the very first time, do not expect to have a finished novel by the end of the month. That is not a failure. That is not a problem. The whole point of Nano, it shouldn't even be called National Novel Writing Month. It should be National Try Writing like a full-time author for a month. Because you're not, even if you fully complete Nano, you're only going to have a 50K novel, which is not a novel. It's like a fat novella.
Yeah.
So the most important part about NaNoWriMo is the writing every day part.
Mm-hmm.
And so long as completing that, even if you're cutting out words and you don't reach 50K, so long as you're writing every day, you've won Nano. That's all it takes.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Like, these people on the forums again talking about how they just type gobbledygook and stuff they don't even like. And it just makes me want to bang my head on a desk because that's not what Nano's about at all. It's not about the word count. It's about writing every day, learning to treat writing as an important part of your schedule in your daily life, because if you want to do this professionally, that's what you got to do. You got to treat it like a job. And that is what I think the most important part of Nano is learning to do it every day, to meet your quota, even if you had to cut words, even if you're not going as fast as you thought you were. Just do it every day and act like a rewriter.
There you go. Yeah, I like that. That's good advice. Just get that schedule down, do it every day, and see if you like it.
I will be on the Nano Fantasy Forum this November. So come say hi and ask me a question.
Nice. All right. Well, I think that'll do it. We lost Guillermo. I think the hurricane went through.
Oh no!
But I know he would like to say that he really, really enjoyed the Eli Monpress series, and
well, no, that's fine. The 5th Eli novel is coming out on November 22nd. So
nice.
It's a nice little sort of end of Nano present for yourself.
Nice.
You've been waiting.
Yeah.
I actually just got my copy in the mail today. This is a fat book. This book came out so huge. It is like a little Wheel of Time novel.
Nice. And that one was Spirit's End, right? You said?
Spirit's End, the final novel. And, I'm biased, of course, but I think I wrapped it up pretty well. I'm very proud of. I'm really, really proud of the end of this series.
Great. Well, I look forward to giving that one a go. So we have Legend of Eli Monpress, The Spirit War, and Spirit's End, and there's also a novella, right?
Yeah, there's Spirit's Oath, which is a novella about Miranda. It's kind of her early life before she runs into Eli.
Nice.
And now, of course, my self-published 2K to 10K, How to Write More of What You Love.
Awesome. And all of that it's 99 cents for that one book right there. Yeah.
99 cents. Kindle only, unfortunately, right now, but there's Kindle apps on everything.
Yeah.
You have no excuse.
Yes. All right. Well, anything else in the future that might be coming out?
Well, I am right now writing the 3rd novel of a new trilogy for Orbit that is a sci-fi series, but I can't actually announce it until Orbit announces it, and they haven't done that yet.
Oh, okay.
But I'll be writing it under the name Rachel Bach.
Mm-hmm.
B-A-C-H,
as in I'll be Bach? Yeah.
As in I would be Bach.
Yeah.
I'm writing it under the name Rachel Bach because it is more adult than my Eli series.
Mm-hmm.
It has more cursing, it has more sex. It's about a very in-your-face female powered armor mercenary.
All right.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. It has really good combat, and I'm really excited. And I think my readers of Eli would like it, but I have a lot of very young Eli readers, so it's not really appropriate for them. But
okay.
if you can handle a little cursing and a little sex,
yeah,
you can handle that.
I gotcha.
But anyway, so can I tell a story
Yes.
on this podcast? It's not writing related, but it's something. And you know what? While I'm thinking of it, hang on. Let me go turn my dryer off. I just realized that the microphone is picking up my dryer. Hold on. Here,
okay.
Do some talking while I'm gone.
Are you recording?
Yes.
Oh.
Always. All right. Hang on 1 second. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I got nothing. I haven't been able to write because my brain just is not in writing mode.
Oh wow!
It's okay,
I could hear you from my headphones all the way back at the dryer. All right, I'm here.
Am I that loud?
This is professional podcasting. Oh, and plus I have a butterscotch in my mouth.
Ah, okay.
That's also not professional. Hold on.
Okay. And,
I spit it out. So yes, I have a story to tell. And it involves me working. I hear background noise. Are you watching the game too?
No. There's someone watching racing in the background.
Like NASCAR?
No, like drag racing. It's the championships.
Oh, well, I guess that's okay.
Yeah, it's been weird. Some dude almost got set on fire because their car exploded.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
It's fun to watch. I mean, not for the flaming, drivers, but just because the margins are. It's like you win by like 100th or 1,000th of a second. It's really cool.
That's pretty awesome. Anyway, so I guess the story I have it doesn't really have to do with writing, but I can kind of make it about writing.
Okay.
because while I was writing at work over the weekend, working overnight, I found myself doing, whenever I would have to get up and go on patrol through the halls of the apartment buildings, I would be doing the Gangnam Style dance as I was skipping and prancing down the hallway.
Okay.
And the reason I was doing that is because, like out of the corner of my eye, I was a little sleep deprived and a little over coffeeed. And so out of the corner of my eye, I kept seeing Slender Man, like, waiting there for me.
Oh, okay.
And whether I was outside or inside. And then I figured, well, Slender Man is like an epically scary and creepy meme. Well, like Gangnam Style is like has become like an epically fun meme. So I figured if I went around dancing the Gangnam Style dance, it would like cancel each other out, and that's the only way that you can defeat the Slender Man.
Or it would make the Slender Man more powerful.
I don't think it would do that. I think he would just do the dance, and then he'd be like, "Hey, you're a cool guy," I don't know why that's Slenderman's voice. Slenderman?
Slenderman? Is he... Okay.
He's Irvin Slenderman.
Mr. Slenderman.
The tallest, creepiest CPA you'll ever see.
Right. I
Slenderman. Irving Slenderman.
Oh, yeah, like Mr. Geezerman.
I remember him. But that was my weekend, was one instant filling my pants with fear poop because Slenderman was after me. And then another instant doing the Gangnam Style dance down the hall. And then I got quite a lot of words done. I'm still a little bit behind the whole NaNoWriMo thing. Today's like the 11th. Technically the 12th, I guess. And yeah, it's been a little rough playing catch up, but I'm on my way.
Yeah, I had something. Well, I keep writing, and this weekend I've probably written close to about 4,000 or 5,000 words.
Mm-hmm.
But when I read it, I'm like, this is no good.
Well, that's what we'll be. We had the episode we just played now was our little pep talk from Rachel Aaron, which we're very thankful for her being alive and sending us information from her brain to our brains on how to up your word count. But that's actually something we're going to talk about next week, is what to do when you're writing crap. And basically the thing is with NaNoWriMo, just keep writing crap.
Yeah, eventually something will come out. Maybe you can take that crap and make a little sculpture out of it, and you'll be like, well, it's crap, but at least it's a miniature rendition of the... Yeah, exactly. It's miniature rendition of the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, but that's what we're going to be doing talking about next week, is that. So for now, just kind of keep pushing through. And Guillermo, have you found any, I don't know, instances of like writer's block, or I don't know, do you even think that writer's block exists?
Well, I have it right now. It's just like when I sit down and I'm like, okay, here we go. This is what I want to happen. And then you get to it and you're like, well, no, this is kind of cliche. I don't want that. Or I write something. I'm like, yeah, this is funny, but I've done it. I've done the same joke in a different form 5 different ways.
Oh,
it's getting kind of old. Let me try something else. And then I just get completely stuck.
Oh.
I'm like, I cannot. I'm like, it's not even worth it if it's not. If you keep telling the same joke over and over, it just stops being funny.
Yeah, I guess so. I kind of have different views. Like there's something we talked about with Rachel, with writers aren't these people that sit around and in whatever, wherever, waiting for the muse to hit, and they're like, oh, I'm a tortured soul. It's like, no, you know what? The muse is out there. You have to go find it and hunt it down by scent.
Buy it from your dealer.
Do what?
And buy it from your dealer.
Buy it from your dealer. Wait a minute, what?
I don't know. Never mind.
No. Go find Muse and grab it by the face and punch it until it's your friend.
Exactly. But whatever you do, don't buy Muse from Julio on the corner of 12th and 4th and 8th and A, because his Muse is, it's just stems and I mean I'm
Don't
kidding.
go to the Taco Bell on Bird Road and order the number 11. Don't do that.
Yeah, because there is no number 11 on the menu, but the number 11 will get you extra. Well, just ask for extra lettuce.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, you're giving away secrets. Stop.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, we're kidding.
I
we're
don't
kidding.
know. No. If I did that, then I wouldn't get anything done ever.
Yeah, I guess so.
I just write stories about Funyuns and how awesome they are, and
You know, I technically, all right, we can maybe make this public. I've never tried that particular substance before. Does it really make you want Funyuns, or is that just a myth?
no. Well, it makes you hungry, and you get hungry for just random things. You'd be like, man, I could really use some mozzarella sticks right now, but where do I get mozzarella sticks at 4 in the morning? Well, I guess I'll just sit here watching Three's Company or something.
See, yeah, I've only ever even been drunk, like I can count on one hand, maybe two hands, and then I don't even count it drunk. I count it, it's buzzed.
Yeah, well, it would take probably you're a very tall, wide dude.
Oh yeah,
I think I don't think there's enough I don't think there's enough alcohol to
oh no, I'm sure that
sufficiently get you
no,
drunk.
there definitely is somewhere out there.
Oh, okay.
I've never, never thrown up drunk, and I've never blacked out or anything, so I guess that's a good thing. But
Yeah.
so, yeah, so that's what's going on with us is just trying to get through NaNoWriMo. Are you finding your groove? Like, is there a certain time of day that you write better than other times of day that you found?
Well, I find it's whenever I'm sick of filling out job applications online, and I just need to, kind of give my mind an enema,
Ah,
and then I just start writing. But then I'm like, man, all this stuff that I'm writing, it's not even funny. It's just bitter. I'm like, man, I got to figure out a different way to write. Like, yeah, and like not all my characters can be, jaded nihilists.
because you're not Alan Moore.
Yeah, exactly.
Although technically, Night Owl, he was kind of optimistic, but he was kind of the doofus of the story.
Yeah, well, he dresses up like an owl, like everyone else. Everyone else is like, fairly cool.
Yeah.
Like Rorschach is deep and he's got a crazy mask, and the Silk Spectre is like hot, and Ozymandias is super intelligent, and he dresses like and then the Night Owl just dresses like an owl.
Although he did have sex with Silk Spectre in the Owlmobile thing.
Yeah, I can never listen to that song ever again.
Hallelujah. Well, that's in the movie, yeah.
I know it ruined that song for me for eternity. like Farewell to Horses.
Goodbye Horses.
Yeah, Goodbye Horses. It's just like it's one of those songs like some guy worked, years writing the greatest song, that his band could possibly create. And finally he's like, oh, it's getting into a movie. This is my big break. And then, fast forward, like now whenever everyone thinks of that song, it's a dude doing the tuck dance. And he's like, this isn't really what I had in mind.
Q Lazarus, that's who did Goodbye Horses.
Okay. Yeah, so someone's like, hey, didn't you write that tuck song? And he just gets mad.
It was a deep song about becoming a man. I don't know what it's about.
It's a song about that time my horse ran away.
And it's a very song. Oh, it's about, hang on, here we go. According to the writer, the song is about transcendence over those who see the world as only earthly and finite. The horses represent the five senses from Hindu philosophy, and the ability to lift one's perception above these physical limitations and to see beyond this limited earthly perspective. But no, To us, it's not about that. To us, it's about a guy putting his wiener between his legs and dancing.
While a girl screams for for mercy in a fitness basement.
You know, I have met two people in my life that sound like Buffalo Bill, and every
Okay.
time I hear them speak, I it creeps me out. I just
Do you ever? So you ever like walk up to them? It's like, can you say put the lotion in the basket, please?
no, no, I don't
Uh,
want that to happen. But
yeah, yeah. I just that's another thing. Like some actor gets in, says some really cool line. Like we were talking about this, like Anthony Hopkins. Like he's been in so many great movies, but every time he meets someone, they're like, "Come on, say it, say it." He's like, "No, no, I'm sick of saying that." He's like, "Say it," and I'm pretty sure he just sighs and just slumps his shoulders and just goes, I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti, and they're like, "Come on, go on." Yeah.
he's famous for making that terrible noise. Guillermo, what do you know? Let's I don't know. Let's do one more topic here, and for the show.
I've really been talking a lot about writing.
Yeah.
But this is fun.
Well, no, that actually reminded me. I heard well, I don't remember where now, but it's basically, as an author, certain people are known for certain things in their fiction, especially when it comes to like the fantasy, sci-fi, spec fic stuff. There's, you got this guy's known for that guy's known for that. What and it all comes from having your plot, your characters, and your setting down solid, so that whatever you add on to that solid foundation, that's what you become known for. So I wonder, Guillermo, if you had to pick something you would be known for, what would it be?
Toilet humor.
Toilet humor.
Wait, no, no. I don't know. I just want people to look at it and be like, "Oh yeah, he writes those. He writes those funny stories. Yeah, that he's all right." I would, as long as someone could say, "Yeah, he's okay," then I'm okay with that. I don't have to be, I don't have to be anyone's favorite writer. As long, in fact, it's like, "Oh no, you know what? I tolerate what he writes. I'm okay with that. That's I consider that a win."
Cool. Well, that's good. Yeah, I have I've been thinking about this a lot, and I have a definite thing that I would like to be known for, and that's having really good antagonists.
Oh, antagonists are always fun.
Yeah. That's what I want. I want to be like, oh, hey, you're Benjamin J. Love. You're that guy that wrote my favorite bad guy, and that's what I want to be known for. So.
Yeah, exactly. I'd have to go back in time.
Yeah,
for that.
I've been working on that a lot.
I'd be like, oh, it's just so great. I'm like, just have to go back in time, be like, hey, Shakespeare, Iago, dude, what were you thinking? That blew my mind. And he'd be like, who thought thou? Or something, and we probably wouldn't understand each other, because I can't understand half the things he writes.
Yeah,
anyway.
well, that's how he wrote. I mean, nobody actually talked like that back then, apparently.
Like, unfold myself. Okay.
Is Shakespeare hitting on me?
Exactly. Like, is this a hitting on me
Man,
thing? Because
the same thing happened when I traveled back in time to visit Abraham Lincoln. What is it with these historical figures and hitting on me?
well, Abraham Lincoln. Well, there was a rumor that he did go both ways apparently, and that's okay. I mean, go for it. Whatever makes you happy.
You mean by going both ways? You mean he killed vampires and zombies? Okay. Good,
yes.
Good.
Yes.
Okay.
And according to our friend Brian Thomas Schmidt, also died.
Oh yeah. Oh, I look forward to that too. That sounds like a fun concept. The Dinosaur Hunter book.
I'd like that. I mean, I always thought maybe Teddy Roosevelt may have been
Well,
a better.
No, he was a
dinosaur.
monster hunter apparently, according to MHI.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that does make a lot of sense. I mean, he is the guy that, got, okay, like an assassin shot him in the chest right before one of his election speeches, and from what I make up in my head, he probably like spin kicked him and punched him like through his head, and even with like a bullet in his chest, he finished his speech. Which I'm like, you know what? Props.
And you know, he also his what were they called? The Rough Riders, his group of people. They were outfitted by Abercrombie and Fitch. Did you know that?
Yes. So Abercrombie and Fitch used to be manly at one point.
And now, well, not so much.
Yeah, I see. The thing is, the store is too dark and too perfumed for me to go in. I cannot go in to an Abercrombie.
I sort of went through that phase because I had a girlfriend that was really super into Abercrombie and Fitch, and she bought me a few shorts and a hat and a couple shirts, and I wore them once and never again. Not really my style.
Right. I know what you mean. Yeah, it's just I can't, like, I feel like I'm going to suffocate. Also, there's lots of semi-clothed dudes on posters.
Well, some of them have, shirtless dudes just standing in front of the store, like real-life shirtless dudes.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, I'm, if you really want to get me into a store, have, the opposite, have scantily clad, ladies. I mean, then I'd be okay with that. I mean, like, you know what? I would go, I will buy some shirts from the topless lady. I don't care. I'll do it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But topless dude, I'm like, no, dude, no, that's all right. I think I'll just go to Kmart and, just pick it off the shelf and
buy a bag of shirts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I'm here for my bag of shirts.
Yeah, it's like no brand or anything. It's just bag O shirts.
Yeah. Big bag O shirts of assorted colors. Yeah.
Right, and then you wear them for a week, and you wash them, and then they all fall apart. They like, the stitching comes apart. Because I'm a man, I have to wear things until they disintegrate. I can't, just throw something away. So yeah, that's and that's why I'm single. So no, I'm kidding.
So there we go. So so get over to right. So get started. Wow, I can't talk. I should just. I should just write instead. I think I'm going to do that. So get out there and keep NaNoWriMoing or nanning, NaNoWrimming. No, NaNoWrimming sounds dirty.
Yeah, that's
Let's not do that. Let's
I mean, unless you're into it, then by all means.
Yeah, I mean, more power to you. Yeah.
But
put on Goodbye Horses and and tuck and do the dance. But yeah, do what you got to do to get your word count, and I hope you're all out there writing and doing that. So
yeah, why are you listening to us right now?
Yeah.
You should. If you're listening to us in the background, then that's okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go probably lay down, and I won't sleep because I keep thinking that the Slender Man is coming after me. So, oh yeah, that whole thing stemmed from me playing the Slender game, and yeah, I would not recommend it. I screamed many times.
I will do that now.
Okay, so everybody go out there, go write, and I hope the Slender Man doesn't eat you. And I hope you can do the Gangnam style dance to make him go away. I don't know. That's a story right there, I think. The battle of the memes.
Yeah. Then, you just, when you think you've won, Courage Wolf kills you.
Yeah. So, or Psychopath Wolf, was that the other one?
I guess.
There's two of them, Courage Wolf and Psycho Wolf. But anyway, go out there and do that. And also check fmwpodcast.com. Leave us some comments. If you have any nano stories, leave them there on this episode. Thanks to Rachel Aaron. She's at Rachel_Aaron, I believe. Just look her up on Twitter. You'll find her. We are at FMW Podcast, and we also have our Facebook page. Until next week, keep writing. I am Benjamin J. Love.
And I am Guillermo Photoshops Monkeys for Muses Velez.
You did, I saw that. Right. And don't let the Slender Man get you.
Or the Gentleman Monkey.
Ooh, I smell a mashup.
Nice.
I need Gentleman Monkey have to team up with Slenderman to kill Gorillasaurus.
Gorillasaurus cannot be killed by human weapons.
Well, that's why you need Slenderman and Gentleman Monkey.
Well, they stand a chance.
Yeah. Oh boy, I think I'm gonna go to sleep now.
Okay.